I did have a question for y'all.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this and I was decided to $1 billion because that's massively life changing for not just like you, but family. It's a generational wealth, pretty much, in a sense.
Yeah.
Not $1 billion is kind of strong for that one, but in a it can take care of
We get
you.
the concept of what
Yeah.
you're saying with the $1 billion. Yeah.
It's what would you do with it? If someone came up to you tomorrow and said, here's $1 billion cash, no tax on it whatsoever, or a check, it doesn't matter, just no tax, what would you do with it?
I mean, like what we referred to earlier, you can obviously do a lot with it.
Yeah. I also
Some of the bigger,
mistook what your question was. I thought you were saying what you would do. What would you actually do in order to get $1 billion? Like, what were you?
So here's an example.
Again, a lot.
Well,
That's why I
you'd
said
have
a
to do a
lot.
lot to make $1 billion. But so for example, if someone gave me $1 billion tomorrow, right?
Mhm.
I'd hand over the rest of my schooling because I'd finish it. Like there's no reason for
That
me
makes
not to finish it. I'd finish it.
You're already this far into it. You might as well finish it. Yeah.
I would probably honestly continue to work.
Yeah.
Just to have something to do.
Just having something to do because
Yeah, I get that.
I'm 27 and I don't, like everyone's working at this point.
Yeah.
I continue to work.
Mm-hmm.
I would go do something I love and want to do, regardless of pay at that point, because it didn't matter. It doesn't matter about pay.
No.
Yeah.
So like I'd go find something I love and want to do and continue to work. Maybe not full time.
That's fair. No,
Maybe like a
I would say
part-time
part-time.
thing or yeah.
Or I'd work
I'd say like
maybe
20
30
hours
hours a week,
max.
right? To get me through all the
Yeah.
times. But then I'd be like, hey, I want to take off whenever I want. So if my friends who are like Whitmer, maybe who has scattered hours where I can see him whenever I want.
Mhm.
Yep.
I'm not going to be constrained to, oh, I can't hang out at like 2 p.m. because I work. I'm like, no, I'm not going to work that day because he's off. So I'm going to go hang out with him.
Right.
Type of deal. I mean, I'd also give everyone money. Pretty much. Give close friends money to be like, here's, maybe here's like $300,000. So here's $300,000. Do with it as you will, but don't come back to me.
Yeah, I guess that because that's always that fear you have when you know you have money is people are just going to always kind of come back to you like, hey, can I borrow this or can you loan me this for that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I would say my only, I guess, argument to that is I would just obviously to be, of course, very selective with that. Like, obviously,
Oh yeah, I'm not saying
you're not going to give it to some.
You're
just not going to give it to Joe Schmo who's just saying, "Hey, can you give me some money?"
Because a really good guy.
But like if Jeff said, "Hey, if I went up to Jeff and was like, here's $300,000," because I know he has.
I expect it back in a year.
Yeah, a year, a month.
That's where I like it.
If Jeff said, I said, "Hey Jeff, here's $300,000," knowing he doesn't, none of us make that. It's a shit ton of money. But here's $300,000, no tax. Here's it cash, right? They can pay off schooling if they have schooling. They can pay for a house. They can put money away for their kids to college. Get a car.
Any kind of retirement kind of
retirement,
stuff, like
pay off maybe debt they have or bills they need.
Yeah.
So that's like a whole thing. It's like, okay, this is gonna be enough money
for you essentially to, if you have any debts, to clear debts,
good for,
essentially.
You're going to be good for a while because unless you are so financially like unstable and not responsible, you'll blow it. But that's incredibly hard to do because $300,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So that'd be the concept of, or I'd go to the other concept as like Kevin O'Leary does it. You can come to me for money once.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just give it to you. I don't want it back. No interest. I don't care. But you can only come to me once.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That'd be my mindset too.
I mean, also he has billions of dollars, so he can just do it. But like, be like, hey, I'm like, I'll cap you at $500,000. Cap you.
Yeah.
If you want it, here you go. But you can't ask me for money again. type of deal.
Yeah, no,
I'd be on that mindset too. Because I wouldn't want people to keep coming back to me because they think I could just give them some money that easily.
Exactly.
I mean, you can ask for $100 grand. You can ask for $100 grand. You can put your kid through Penn State.
Yeah.
You can put your kid through Harvard pretty much at that point too.
Most colleges, yes.
Most colleges maybe not Harvard. Most colleges outside the heavy Ivy Leagues like UPenn, like you can put your kid through.
Yes.
Even if you put your kid I think
if you say that plus whatever you
120, so you want to pay 20 grand for your kid to go to school outside of what I had given you.
Yeah, at that point, it's like if you went to a state school or something like that where it's cheaper.
You'd be set for life.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd walk out of there paying maybe like what 100 something K.
Yeah, I
think it's like what 11 per semester, 10%,
something like that.
For us, it was like 9 to 10 grand, right? Maybe 11 grand to go to school for the year, right?
Yes,
for the year, right? So easily doable. 50, 60 grand.
For sure.
I mean, it's not easily paid for, but if you were given 100 grand,
but in this scenario, it would be.
In this scenario, you can pay for it.
Yeah.
So like
now,
So that's what I would do with it. I'd be like, here's what you should do. Here's what I'd give you, type of deal.
Yeah.
Don't ask me again. Or here's just what I'd give you.
Right.
Have fun with it. Be financially responsible.
Yep.
Unless you're like, hey man, I'm going to foreclosure. I need $1 million.
Yeah.
Because if you bought $1 million house, then I don't know what you're doing. But if you need $1 million house, if you need $1 million, I'm like, okay, I don't want you to lose your house. So here's $1 million.
Yeah.
Right.
But at that point, there'd be some stipulations like, okay, I want something back. You don't have to give me a whole million back, but give me something back.
Yeah.
Right. It's like eventually give me like some
portion of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's look at your shit together, because how do you lose just $1 million like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my family's set, my personal family.
Yeah, that's what I would do that as well.
And that's my biggest
thing I would say nephews, my nieces,
parents for sure.
Parents.
Yeah.
Grandparents.
I would say that's my biggest thing is I would make sure first and foremost, family comes first. I want to make sure that they're set and that they are able to enjoy life, as much as they can, obviously within reason or everything like that. And, and like you said, though, then of course I would want to make sure that, those closest to me and you guys and everything, Tommy, Matt, of course, Brian, sure, why not? For all the shit you've given me, why not? You're on that list, I guess. I don't know why I'm doing this.
I have $1 billion.
If I had it,
can I have your $1 billion? We can have $2 billion.
This is a hypothetical scenario. I don't have the money yet. I'll get it tomorrow.
Promise. Okay, got it.
If you get it tomorrow, then I'm gonna ask for $1 billion tomorrow.
Yeah. Sounds good. But family and friends, of course, those close to me, make sure that they're set. I like the idea that you guys are saying is, I want to make sure that like
people are set.
In a way, exactly. Not only they're set, but like I don't want them. And again, because someone with that much money, people are gonna absolutely try to take advantage of you. I don't care.
Oh yeah, everyone.
Who you are, everybody and anybody would easily want to say, "Hey, just need a little bit of help here. Need a little help."
Yeah, more than likely, the people who would help is the friends, close friends, or family.
Really close friends. If they're like, "Hey, I'm buying a house," but it will put us in massive debt, and we need to put down $200,000. I'm like, okay, well, here's 400 to put money down and to pay off part of the mortgage.
Yes,
right. And it's because it would be
something like that.
If you guys asked me, that's what I would do. I'd be like,
exactly.
Here's more what you're asking, but it's so you don't go into massive debt.
Exactly. And then honestly, like at that point, depending on like, let's say if I'm trying to get depending on like, what the house is doing, like everything like that, I wouldn't want like a absolute, crazy expensive house. Yeah, obviously I don't want like a trash house, but I would want it to be like nice enough where like it's in like a nice environment and everything like that, and it's like a great location. Maybe it's like an additional like beach house or a lake house as well, something like that, like a nice little getaway place too. So something along the lines of that too. obviously depending on, and maybe even a couple of them probably like Eagle season tickets, Philly season tickets, so
Yeah.
gotta think about that. Flyers don't count right now; they don't exist as a franchise, so forget them
Sixers are
right
doing
now.
really well. They're like fourth in the entire league.
I know what I'm going to be getting, Jeffrey, if I get $1 billion.
Flyers season tickets.
Yes, sir.
Damn it, Whitmer! I just said I didn't want
You
that.
probably could buy the fucking Flyers at this point too with that much money.
Sorry. Yes,
Because how terrible they are. Not really, but like you could try.
You could buy a portion, like people do for like
you can buy a
teams.
majority portion. You can buy a majority whole shareholders in Flyers.
Yeah, be you and Comcast.
See you, Dave Scott, you clown. Good, Whitmer, good old what's his name?
Oh yeah, him.
He's like that guy.
Exactly.
That guy.
That guy.
That guy.
But,
the guy I always forget his name.
Yes, but no, anything with that. Honestly, I would definitely want to get a boat. That way, I can go fishing whenever I want.
Typical.
Also, that's kind of important. Also, another aspect that I would want to include is like really, because I've seen what just like looking at and like with people, all these celebrities and also just sports stars in general, like what they do with their backyards. Like something that would be fun though is like have a mini, just like have a couple of
You're gonna have an ice rink in your backyard, aren't you?
I was about a mini golf course.
What exactly? And that was the other thing I was about to say is like have like a par 3 course in my backyard, something like that. That way I can get a little bit of golfing, so stuff like that. So I'm sure there will be other things too, but like and at the same time, maybe try to put like a tiny bit of a way to also invest to like let that money grow as well.
Yeah, that's definitely something I would do is just invest some of it to put some away for family, future kids, colleges, all that kind of stuff.
College plans. So stuff like that. So I'd say like a majority of it. That's what I would do.
Traveling too, I think.
Traveling.
Yeah. Like come up with a chunk of time, maybe say, hey, or like do a group trip with friends or something, kind of like what we did with Colorado, but do it even more.
Oh, absolutely.
Go get like a cruise with a bunch of your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Make it all paid, all inclusive.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean it's just a thought. It's like how much money that is. Where like if you $1 billion, you can do. People live off. Like the average income of the U.S. of an individual is like 30 grand.
Yeah.
Well, my bad. Average is probably closer to 40, 45.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably more.
42.
Years ago, it was like 30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's with one person. A 2-person, it's like 60, 70. So people are living off of like 40 grand a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just kind of, the only hard part would be trying to find things to do to occupy your time.
That's what I would work. I would still work almost like 40. I would work like 30 hours a week.
I would say
until my friends I mean, I also would probably spend a lot of time with my family. For the people who are retired, I would spend a lot of time with them.
Yep.
Because at that point, if they're in South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, flying is no issue at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also probably go to like an airline and just get their highest membership I can get.
I mean, here's the other thing too that I think we're kind of overlooking: private jet, helicopter.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
they give off a lot. That way, they give off a lot of emissions.
They do. You have to pay for that.
So like, yeah, I mean that's also a thing you easily pay for. But then I'd probably start.
But I find that to be similar to like if you wanted a boat or a yacht. I kind of put those two kind of things together.
See, I don't go out on the boats as much. So I probably would buy jets at that point myself.
Yeah, probably would too.
But then I would consider retirement at that point, and like when my friends started to get done.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. When people are starting to consider in their, whether it's in their 55, 60s, wherever they are, to be like, like, we're going to start thinking about retirement. I'm like, okay, well, let me know when you do, then I'll just stop working.
Right.
Yeah. That way we can all enjoy life.
I would continue to work through my 20s, my 30s, my 40s,
50s,
just to do something, because everyone's gonna be working.